Welcome to HRTV's Victory Lap with coverage of the All-Tech FEI World Equestrian Games out at the Kentucky Horse Park here in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm Jill Byrne.
And I'm Gil Merrick at the Prevent Feeders International Equestrian Festival presented by HRTV.
And Gil, I understand you were able to get out to the Kentucky Horse Park again this morning and spend a little time out there. Day 3 of show jumping?
That's right, day 3 of the show jumping competition. They're going into this evening as we broadcast this show. We also had the first day of the vaulting competition. That's gymnastics on horseback, and we'll have some coverage of that as the week goes on. And then also the second day today of para-equestrian, the dressage competition. And
I also understand that Gil was able to catch up with some of the para-equestrians out at the World Equestrian Games.
This is the second day of competition for the para-equestrian division. These are dressage tests that have been designed for riders with disabilities at varying levels and is included in the Paralympics as well as the World Equestrian Games as an international sport discipline. Today we're going to meet James Dwyer, who's competing for Ireland, and hear the story about how he's overcome the challenges and the hurdles on his way to the World Equestrian Games. At first glance, we're watching a horse and rider combination showing all the qualities of a really good dressage horse and rider. But if you look a little closer, you can see there's something else going on here. James Dwyer has been riding for the past 10 years after an amputation of his right leg. Prior to losing your leg, had you been a rider?
Yeah, I rode as a kid. I started riding. My dad always had ponies and horses, and he rode. My brother, all my family rode, and I rode until I was 17. And that's when I had the cancer in the bone, and they removed the cancer but put in an artificial knee and a bar into my leg, and they cemented it into my ankle bone. And as they did that, they said to me, look, you know, I know you like to ride, but we advise you not to, because if you fall off, you break this, we won't be able to put it back together, more than likely wouldn't be able to put it. So I didn't ride. My knee never bent properly afterwards, so it was a little bit painful. So then when I had my amputation in '97, I decided, look, I have enough pain, whatever, this is not going anywhere. So I finally had the amputation, and then within probably 6 months, I started riding again.
His coach talked to us about the special challenges that James faces in working with the balance and having one leg and giving the correct cues to the horse.
You've got to concentrate on how much he uses his able-bodied side over the disabled-bodied side, and whether, because he has a little difficulty sitting, whether he's putting more pressure on his seat bone on the right over the left, and if he does, the horse takes his weight in one direction or the other. So there are a whole bunch of things that I have never really had to concentrate on, and suddenly they're very important. So it's a real education.
Ireland is just one of many countries competing here in the para-equestrian division, and the U.S. Equestrian Federation's Director for High Performance with Para-Equestrian, Pam Lane, talked to us about the exciting growth of the sport over the last 10 years. How many riders do we have?
Well, we got very lucky this year and got to bring 10. I don't think that'll ever happen in the history of the country again, but since we were the host nation, they allowed the Europeans to bring 7, and host nation always gets an additional 3, generally. I mean, we never know when the rules will change. So we got to bring 10 athletes, which we're extremely excited about, because we are really using this to prepare for the 2012 Paralympics. We went there 2 years ago. We had 5 athletes. We had 5 athletes to draw from. We did our national championships this year. We had 22 athletes. It doesn't sound like much, but it's a 300% growth.
And the U.S. team has had the good fortune of being coached over the past 10 years by Missy Ranzahausen, an accomplished international 3-day eventing rider who's also the daughter of Jessica Ranzahausen.
As a team, we are currently sitting in 7th place as of yesterday, and hopefully today we'll move up a little bit. I think still for us, we're quite new to the sport, and we need a little bit more time to really get in there, but it's fabulous for us to be even this high. It's neat to watch them because they're such unique individuals in a way, and they each strive to be such good riders, and it's fun to watch them. And each year that I come and do an international competition with them or coach them or do a training session, they've all just really come to the limelight and really shown, which is great.
And if we want to understand why the sport is growing so quickly, we just need to ask James.
I heard about the para-equestrian Paralympics, and I wanted to jump at that stage because that's where I kind of come from. And they said, no, we don't do jumping, but they do dressage. Would you try dressage? And I was like, that's boring. I don't know if I really want it, but here, I'll give it a try. And I got the bug.
And so this is the first time that this has been included in these World Equestrian Games.
That's right. It's a huge thing for the sport of para-equestrian and a big part of why it's growing so rapidly.
And you said that it's a family kind of scenario involved in this as well.
It's great to see this mother-daughter combination. You know, Jessica Ranzahausen represented the United States at the Pan American Games, 3 Olympic Games in dressage, and her daughter, who's a 3-day eventing rider, has been to the Rolex Kentucky 3-day event 3 different times and has been to big international competitions in Europe like Burley and others. So that they joined forces to support this sport is really inspirational.
That really is that's just a great story. And a lot obviously been happening out at the World Equestrian Games, but so much going on here at the International Equestrian Festival as well. And Doug High is out on the floor checking it out.
Well, thank you guys. Yes, once again, we are here on the International Equestrian Festival floor, not too far away from our set. We have some great neighbors here. And Glenn the Geek is with us, as well as Samantha Clark. And you all are broadcasters as well, and many people in the equine industry know you. Guys, tell me what you're seeing so far out there through the World Equestrian Games and IEF. What's the crowd been like? What's the experience been like for you all so far?
Well, it's been fun. We've been doing this show for 115 weeks now, getting ready for the World Equestrian Games. This show was devoted to the World Equestrian Games. So for us, it's like we're living it out now out at the park. I got around today and I probably met 300 people today. We were just out and about saying hi to people, and everybody seems to be just having a great time out there.
Okay. So a lot of weeks of prep work leading up to this. Now that we're actually here in the trenches, so to speak, now that you're seeing it with your own eyes, the footprint out at the horse park and here at the International Equestrian Festival, is it meeting expectations, do you think?
I think it's exceeding expectations. It's wonderful to see all the disciplines come together. We've got the para-equestrian riders starting now, and it's lovely to see them at the park, and we've got the jumpers doing their team finals tonight, and the crowds were pouring in as I left. We've got the US in the lead for the medals at the moment, and they're going to be fighting it out for the gold medal tonight. They're in 3rd position, so it's terrific seeing all the disciplines together. It really is like the Olympics of horses.
Wow. And you guys are providing outstanding coverage with quite a reach. Glenn, tell us, where can we hear Horse Radio Network? And tell us a little bit about the coverage, about the reach.
Well, the Horse Radio Network, you can find it at horseradionetwork.com. We have 8 shows that we do, 8 different shows about different things in the horse world. And we right now are at about 45,000 listeners in 42 countries. So we're out there now, and we keep growing every day, and we have new shows coming on all the time. So it's a lot of fun. We have the coolest job in the world. We get to talk to some of the top athletes, some of the top equine performers, and just some of the coolest horse people.
Wow, that is a cool gig. And you guys are doing a great job, and we're listening, and we know a lot of other people out there are as well. So keep up the great coverage. Just a few more days to go.
We have good neighbors.
Yeah, we have great neighbors.
We're trying. Horse Radio Network, right here on the floor of the International Equestrian Festival. And we're going to send things to break, but HRTV's Victory Lap will return right after this. HRTV's Victory Lap is brought to you by Prevent Feeders.
Welcome back to HRTV's Victory Lap. And Gil, if there's one thing that you see everywhere out at the World Equestrian Games, it is the name Ariat.
That's right. Whether you're working at the Games as a volunteer, whether you're a member of a team at the Games, Ariat is emblazoned on the clothing. It's beautifully designed. People are proud to wear it. And we had an opportunity to catch up with a representative from Ariat. So let's hear what she has to say.
Ariat was started about 18 years ago. And at that time, our objective was really to make the world's most technically advanced products for the world's top riders. And we've been perfecting that and innovating over the past 18 years, and we're proud to be associated today with many of the top riders that are here at the World Equestrian Games. So we've been involved primarily with the sports, show jumping, eventing, dressage. Many of the sports that are here today, reining is actually a big one because at Ariat we do both Western and English products. And we're working with athletes around the world, and many of them are here competing as well. Part of our sponsorship, what we did was we outfitted all of the volunteers that are here, and as well as the U.S. equestrian team and, of course, the athletes that we work with. So it was really, we're proud to do that, proud to be able to provide the apparel for the Games. So this is really a dream come true for us because it's a culmination of so many years of work and bringing together the athletes and the hard work that we put behind the products and thinking through all the details and how to make them perform at their best. So the fact that it's at the United States for the first time in 20 years, and first time ever actually, is a real thrill for us, and we're really honored to be a part of it.
Well, not only the standard issue for all the competitors out there, but I know, as we found when we were out there, it is the must-have item to take away, and you and I have our eyes on a couple of jackets out there.
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to have any luck scoring it. It is really popular apparel, and it's obvious to see why. We're joined now in the studio by Anna Ford. She's the program director for New Vocations Racehorse Adoption Program. Anna, thanks so much for making the time to be with us.
Oh, it's an honor. Thanks for having me.
And as far as with mostly retired racehorses, but also I guess the standardbreds as well, thoroughbreds and standardbreds, and we were talking just a little bit offset about how popular the thoroughbreds are for show jumping and eventing as well.
Absolutely. I mean, they're extremely popular, and you know they're so athletic, and to be at the level of that they're at the racetrack. I mean, the amount of work that they have to go through, both mentally and physically, for them to, when they're retired, to then transform and do that into a horse show career, either it's show jumping or eventing. It's actually, with the proper training and the proper guidance and environment, they can do it, and they can do that because they've been at that high level before. So it's they're very versatile, and we've had a great response here at WAG. Everyone loves the thoroughbreds here.
And New Vocations has formed a partnership with the horse trainers and the horse owners so that you can plan the retirement of a horse from its racing career and to start its second career as a show horse. Is that right?
Right. We really try to work with owners and trainers that truly care about the welfare of their horses, both on and off the track. And so, I mean, we constantly have a waiting list of people wanting to get their horses into our programs. We even have people in California shipping their horses all the way to the East Coast just to be entered into our program because they like the way that we transition them and how we screen the adopters and how we really put them where they can best be suited and excel in a new career.
And one of your strongest supporters and advocates is George Morris, who everybody in the entire equine industry knows. That must really make you feel good.
Right. He has been a very big advocate for the thoroughbred breed and for retired racehorses. I've been to numerous clinics that he's put on, and anytime there's a thoroughbred there, you can tell. He'll even say, thoroughbreds are my favorite breed, and he'll point out why. You know, they're so athletic, they're very smart. You know, a lot of the things people think of a thoroughbred, they think they're hot and crazy. You know, those are some of the bad stereotypes that they get. But actually, when their energy is funneled in the right way, they're extremely athletic and they're extremely smart, which can translate to them overreacting on certain things. But so again, it's how you handle them, how you train them, how you work with them. So yeah, he's been a huge advocate.
It must be very rewarding for you personally to see these horses find a second career. How many horses will your organization put into adoption this year?
This year, well, last year we adopted out through our program 334, and we should definitely reach that this year. That's both thoroughbreds and standardbreds, but normally 70% of that number would be thoroughbreds, so it's a lot larger thoroughbred population. So we're right on track to hit that again this year, so we're really excited.
It's a fantastic program, and there certainly is another life for these thoroughbred and standardbred horses after their racing career is over. And HRTV's Victory Lap will be right back after this.
Nothing says I love you like effective flea control. Show your dog you really care with Advantage.
Welcome back to HRTV's Victory Lap, and Gil here at the International Equestrian Festival. A lot of booths, a lot of activity going on the floor, but also some entertainment as well. And we've been blessed to hear singer-songwriter from Nashville, Templeton Thompson.
Yeah, Templeton has brought together two passions in a very unique way: her love for horses and her love for music. Let's watch.
This song, Girls and Horses, is a song that had been kind of rolling around in my head for a while, and just kind of was writing it just organically, and it was starting to fall out. And one day I was in the backyard with my four-legged gorgeous kiddos, Jane and Bo, my rock stars, and they were happily grazing in the backyard, and I was sitting out there with my guitar, and the rest of it just fell out. And that's how this song, Girls and Horses, came to be. 2, 3, 4. 6 years I've been really niching in the horse world as an entertainer, singing songs about horses and life, and feeling so blessed. And folks like Reba McEntire have recorded my songs, Jody Messina, Little Texas, Cherie Austin, another Aussie. And I've just been really, really, really blessed. I love my life, and I call it my life on Planet Cowgirl.
She says, now when I was a young girl, they were my whole world. They were my one safe place. Now that I'm older, I still lean on their shoulder.
He had music in his bones, and that's what he was supposed to be doing. So he got into it early. He's been working hard for a very long time. And so when we first met and started dating, I was still a really new songwriter. So honestly, I was so intimidated to write songs with him. I remember the first time we wrote a song, I was scared to death. I really was.
Sometimes I wanna give up, throw up my hands and say, enough's enough. But that's when I go and saddle up and run away till I'm okay, till I'm not afraid of stinging in the game. Maybe that's
So I remember going, wow, that's huge. Reba's got my song on hold. And then just about a few days later, then I heard she had actually cut the song. She'd really recorded it, and I'm kind of freaking out because she's one of my heroes, of course. And then I said something just sort of out loud and into the universe and into the air. I tend to dream big, and you bring about what you think about. And I said, well, the next thing you know, she's gonna want me to sing on the record with her. Yeah. Well, like the next day, she didn't call herself, but her folks.
it's magic in those gentle eyes. What is it? What is it with girls and horses? What is it? What is it with girls?
He used to say things like, we'd say dream big, and we'd always say, okay, dream big, work hard. And then it just became dream big, work hard, have faith, and just have faith in general. I really invite people to sort of interpret that how they choose, how that affects them. Faith in doing, that you believe in what you're doing, that you're on the right path.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I know all our regular horse racing viewers recognize him, and we are very pleased to be joined on the set right now by Hall of Fame jockey Pat Day. And Pat, kind of surprised to see you down here, but I see you everywhere now. Thanks for spending some time coming by HRTV.
Well, it's nice to be with you. Appreciate the opportunity to be on.
And you have retired from riding, but are greatly involved still within the industry, the horse industry, but also with the ministries. I know with racing, the racetrack chaplaincy, you're a strong advocate of that. But here at the International Equestrian Festival, you've been involved with the affiliated international ministries. Just tell us a little bit about what they're doing here.
Well, the affiliated international ministries are a ministry that goes in and sets up well in advance of major events such as the Summer Games, the Olympics, and different major venues, and they coordinate a lot of the volunteers that do a lot of the footwork at events such as this, and then they organize and keep everything running smoothly from that regard, and at the same time try to be a positive influence, try to share the love of Christ in that way.
And involving that in the equestrian field, obviously you said as well here at the World Equestrian Games and here at the International Equestrian Festival, so kind of getting involved with the horse side, which is so much part of your background as well.
Well, I've loved horses as long as I can remember, and felt so privileged to be involved with horse racing for 32 years, and then on the heels of my retirement in 2005, the opportunity to be involved with the Racetrack Chaplaincy of America, which at the present time we're overseeing the activities of 77 chaplains at 116 different racetracks throughout North America. Obviously, our desire is to one day have a chaplain at every racetrack and training facility throughout the world, if that would be possible. But it's been decidedly rewarding and fulfilling, and of course the opportunity to be here, to be at the games, and to be affiliated with the international ministries and the work that they're doing is it's just very rewarding.
And is that the primary focus of your work now, or do you have other activities going on in the horse racing industry?
No, sir. I committed my life to Christ in January of 1984. It was a major change in my whole direction, my whole outlook on life, and today I just have a desire to share that. From 84 until 2005, when I retired, I was involved with and supportive of the ministry at the racetrack as much as my schedule would allow it. Today, since I've retired, I have more time to delegate to that, and so I tell people what I'm doing today is not unlike what I've done since 1984. It's just that now that I'm doing it without the added distraction of a full-time career. This is my career, and I welcome any opportunity to be involved with the ministry, especially the Racetrack Chaplaincy of America. And then, as you know, Jill, my wife has a ministry in Louisville for single mothers called Mom's Closet Resource Center, and the whole idea is just to give back to society, to the racing community, and to people at large, as we've been on the receiving end for so many years.
And as far as the World Equestrian Games, you've spent a lot of time riding at Keeneland and a lot of time here in Lexington. This is a big event to come to the horse capital of the world.
It's a big coup. This is the first time the games have been outside of Europe, and so for them to come here was a big coup for Lexington, the horse park, and the horse people in the Lexington area.
Well, we appreciate you joining us here on the set. I know you're very busy, and looking forward to maybe you get a chance to get out to the World Equestrian Games as well. And as Pat said, there are still 4 or 5 more days left of the World Equestrian Games, so make sure if you're in town, get out and enjoy them. If not, make sure to watch all the action here on HRTV's Victory Lap, and we will be right back after this.
For flea control that works, give your beloved feline Advantage, the flea treatment that's the cat's meow.
Doug, and here's what's coming up tomorrow at the Alltech FEI World Equestrian Games.
As well as the Prevent Feeders International Equestrian Festival presented by HRTV.
A few more days to catch all the action at the World Equestrian Games and right here at the International Equestrian Festival. And Gil, we're well underway to show jumping. What else do we have to look forward to this weekend?
Yeah, the vaulting just got underway today. We'll have a lot of coverage of that coming up. And the combined driving started today. The 4-in-hand horses and carriages, and they have a whole series of events they need to go through, and they're just gearing up this afternoon.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. For HRTV's Victory Lap, I'm Jill Byrne.
And I'm Gil Merrick. Thanks for watching. Please join us again.